holding it like this. Yeah. You know, I think one thing that we need to educate our fellow Zimbabweans is that in many cases, in many cases, when we are developing products, we don't start from scratch. We either buy some of the components over the counter, or can someone come and hold this? Yeah, so that people. You start as a prototype. What that means is you don't start by developing the end product. You start by looking wherever you can get what you think it can work. Then you test. Right now, when we did these machines, we liked the design. I saw a lot of people were saying Broadway or whatever, solar panel. We just liked the case. It was something that we had in mind, especially for the rural community. Something that is dust-proof, waterproof, IP67, and also portable, that even a farmer can just carry around. So I want you to tell me, I don't know where I think we wanted something to test, I don't know. Can we have something to connect? Okay, we'll power the fridge with this one. As you can see, show everyone, the machine, it tells you how much power is getting in. It has got in and out. It's telling you how much radio frequency it's converting right now into pure energy. So I don't know, maybe we put a solar somewhere. Yeah. So people were misinformed. We just liked the design, and we bought the design. This company is not Broadwell. It's a company which is found in Shenzhen. Broadwell, they're just buying and using their name. So talk to this company, and they agree to license us their cover. Then we put it for those reasons. So this is a greener power off-grid machine. We've got 600 watts and 1,000 watts. We decided to go smaller when I was talking to the president. Like I said, right now our focus is on Africa. We want everyone in Africa to have the freedom. So we're looking at a small machine that is a cost competitiveness. For example, if you can sell this machine at $500, a tobacco farmer can afford to purchase it and use it at his house. You can power your fridge, you can power your iron, you can do all those kind of things. So it's giving you the liberty, the freedom to do whatever that you wanted to do. We have got bigger machines that goes to about 100 kilowatts, 200 kilowatts. But those machines are quite expensive, and mostly they are for businesses. So we decided to say, no, these ones, they can be bought with people, not over the counter. People, they can press in orders. So this is our greener power off-grid machine. But I wanted, I don't know if you can find some free energy device. Because what you need is the input power. That's what we're giving you. We're giving you the input power. What we have done, we have managed to erase the batteries. We've managed, and we hope, with brothers from Congo, we hope that the war maybe will end with this kind of initiative, because no one will be in demand on lithium ion. Yeah, so we just hope that it might help that conflict to end. Amen. We thank God with this technology. So we've got this, these are the smallest machines that we're doing, but right now we're working on.
Is there no battery in there?
There's a small battery, but that is very small, like I'm saying. Because remember, when you talk about batteries, you're talking about energy density. The reason electric cars are very expensive is the battery. 70% of the cost of the electric car is a battery, which weighs about about half of its weight. So we managed to erase that. We don't need much energy. We need only less energy. That means our cars can even carry a heavy load now, because the battery is eliminated, but we've got a starter battery. Technology, the pass-through that the only less energy will go to recharge the battery, but the greater power of the energy powers the device. So that is the beauty of it now. if you understand what I'm saying, those people who understand like how batteries work. For example, in a car, in a typical car, the acid batteries, they've got your alternator has got a regulator. So when you're using a battery, that means the alternator is off. But when we are using, when a battery is depleted, for you to recharge and use it at once, it is very impossible. They don't have that technology yet, we have got it. That's the pass-through technology that you can now take power from it and recharging it at the same time. So the regulator now cuts off the power that has to be coming from the battery, and it will redirect it direct to the car from the alternator. So this is what we have done. We have made it possible that a small battery can now do something that is big. Then on the car, I think we're going to demonstrate all the cars that you know. If you go to Kaya right now, all their cars, you have to plug in either a DC charging station or an AC charging station. Our car is the first car. This is a generator. I think if you can go to the fridge, you can see he's going to plug in, and you will see that the fridge is going to be powered by a car. Like I said, you can buy a car. You don't need to have a generator at your home. You use your car.
Okay, right, we trace it.
That's the car. So the person who has the vacation, you can come and see.
So where is the microsonic device?
What we have done, like we said, the microsonic energy device is the invention that we have done, and we are trying to protect it. We have embedded it in the vehicle. Okay. Yes. And it has got a self-destructive technology. On the 150 wires on this car, if you try to tamper with 5 of them, we will classify. You destroy the microsonic energy device, both the software and the hardware. That's how we are protecting the technology, because we couldn't get a patent.
So more like
Yes, it's encrypted. It's on. It's on right now.
It's on.
Oh, yeah. So there are no mechanical, there are no like moving parts.
The only moving part that you will see on this car is a reduction gearbox, but you don't have to maintain it or to service
The
it.
generator doesn't have.
The generator doesn't have any moving parts. Usually those type of devices that are known as 0-point energy. So you cannot even maintain it, you cannot service it, because there is no friction that is happening.
wow.
We're working on ways on how to protect the technology in the event that we use it. For example, we go in a country, we will set up a power station, there's a hostile takeover, we're tricked. How do you protect our technology? That's why we took the trade secret route. Our patent is kept, our design is kept, the recipe is kept in 3 countries, and the people who are keeping it, they don't even know each other. The second thing, we try to protect the hardware side, because if an engineer remove like a circuit board, you can trace, you can see that this is a rectifier, this is a microchip. So we put a small amount of a detonator to say, but that cannot harm anyone. But if you just try to tamper with it, you blow it. That's part of the circuit board. Also on the software, if someone can have the source code, he can try to do reverse engineering. So we work on an algorithm that if you tamper with certain wires on the vehicle, you are going to destroy the microsonic energy device. Yeah.
So you can't tamper.
You cannot tamper with it. If you tamper with it, then you lose your investment.
Question, what would be the market price for it?
Right now we're still doing costing. I think before the end of this week we have the final costing, but it's going to be cheaper. That I can.
So which products do you have on the market?
The car,
Are the batteries on the market?
the greener power of grid machines are on the market. The TVs are on the market. The bikes are on the market. The cars as well, they are on the market.
So So when you say on the market, where would one buy one? So if you wanted to buy a battery, where would you go?
Right now we're doing, I think you saw the company that we partnered like in Zimbabwe, which was doing that video. That's our agent concentrating marketing. But right now we are using the Tesla model, which we are using that we don't want to have middlemen because the prices will be so high to the end users. So we're saying people they will buy straight from Saith in other countries, then they will get their products there. For example, we are setting up in Switzerland, so it is going to cover Europe and some parts of Europe. Then we have got other countries that we pick up in like in Central Africa, East Africa, and Northern Africa, which will cover differently.
So what's the maximum speed for this?
Question and answers we can go in.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Sorry.
We've been trying.
But it's also very dangerous from a fumes perspective. You know, it's poisonous. So, you know, we formulated a partnership with specifically supercat battery manufacturers in South Africa. The West, I don't know if you heard of West. So that's why the question. So, you know, if you're interested, we can always do something to see how we can further test it. We've tested so far lithium-ion batteries. We've tested the solid-state lithium-ion battery in our system at Spago. So there's a lot of stuff that we've learned from just the batteries itself. So if you want to lean on us from that perspective, we're there for you. Okay.
Thank you very much. I think it's something that we'll be looking forward to do. I think you saw when we did the first machine that Foster Gamble managed to test, it had 22 batteries, isn't it?
220 volts.
Yeah, you see, so 22 batteries, that was huge. But right now we're using very small batteries. Yeah. So as technology evolves, I think we will discuss further, and we are keen to hear from you. Then we can see how best we can work together. Cheers.
You know, you were talking about this microsonic device. I wanted to know, it's generating power from electromagnetic waves, that's what you're saying?
Yes.
So I want to know, is it going to work the same regardless of where I am? So if I'm in, you know, a place where there is no signal or whatever, is it going to work the same?
Definitely it's going to work. The only place that we know it won't work because of lack of penetration is like under the mine. But if the machine is on the surface, then you run the cables inside, then you're going to be okay.
So which signal is this? This electromagnetic signal,
Yes.
where is it coming from?
What we have done, we have classified it as a trade secret because that's where the IP lays. The moment we start to tell you what kind of you will try to work on it. So that's where the IP is.
Some of our stories have been dismissed. I work for international media myself. I remember getting to write an apology to scientists in a certain country who are saying that they can't prove your technology. This has been the battle. When people say your microsonic technology can't be proven, what do you say to that?
You know, thank you very much for it, because we had not found ways of protecting the IP, like I said. From 2015 to 2024 right now, we have been working. Foster Gamble has been the first foreigner to have the privilege of working on the machine for those same few years. So right now we have put in a number of tests that we're going to be doing soon after the this launch. As you know, in science we say, prove it. It's not about arguing it, proving. So we drive our car to Cairo, live on TV, everyone watching. That would be enough proof. And right now we're doing this because we are now on the commercial level. So I understand what you're saying very well. And also the other thing, my brother, that I want to tell you, I think I've explained to you the issues of, like when I said the Henry Ford story. You know, Carl Benz, when he did his car, they said don't drive it, it's very dangerous. The horse-driven chariots, whatever the carriers, were much safer. Until his wife took the car and drove it to his parents, to her parents' home. So sometimes you have to take those bold moves to just prove, you see. That day when Betha drove that 60-mile journey, it changed everything. It changed everything. So what I have seen in my journey is we have got the cabals who are not happy about us. Most of these oil companies, they are not happy. They see us as a threat to their technology. Solar is not a threat because solar is very expensive. You need so many panels, you need so many batteries, whatever. We are talking of something smaller that you can even carry around by powering your house. So you are threatening someone's business. Those people were the people who were fighting us in the past, like you say, even the scientists. You know, there are people who say, we are not open to anything to say. I think that's the term that I can use. They say, what is there, but we are not going to approve something. We have seen a lot. We have seen a lot.
I think Max, from an academic point of view, theories are developed by people, and then theories are approved. You know, after you develop a theory, it has to be tested, and then you actually affirm the theory. So here is a car that is there. So to answer the question, how do you prove it? I mean, there's no car in the world that has got unlimited driving range. So if the car is driven, even, let's say for example, even if it does 2,000 kilometers, there's no car that does 2,000 kilometers. There's no car that does 3,000 kilometers. So it's violating certain principles. We must celebrate. We are yet to take what God has actually laid out there. It is very limiting to human beings to limit themselves to some certain philosophers who lived some years